The King of Fighters 14.
King of Fighters is known for its smooth 2D animations and really tight gameplay mechanics. And this year, they threw one of those things away. It was the graphics. But even with a much more basic look, it's easy to see that SNK is back in its true form and finally away from pachinko.
Hey, come on! Round 1. Ready, go!
Unlike other fighters, this game comes with 50 characters on the disc. I just have to applaud that in a day and age where fighters get as little of a roster as they possibly can with promises of DLC in the future. But where King of Fighters 14 really shines is in its gameplay. Everything just feels it just feels right. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't play fighting games how a fighting game feels without getting super technical, so I'll spare you that. But it's some of the smoothest fighting game gameplay that I've experienced since Street Fighter Third Strike, and that's really saying a lot. King of Fighters 14 overall is the prime example of substance over style, and I really enjoy it for that. It's a fighting game. It's all about the substance. It's finding those combos, it's finding the intricacies in that gameplay system, and it's finding out if you're better than your friends. And I am not better than my friends.
Where'd she come from?
Me arse. I shit her out this morning, wheels and all.
Have you ever heard the saying you catch more flies with honey than vinegar?
Have you ever heard the saying, is that one there, yeah? Go fuck yourself.
A few times.
Mafia 3 is another open world crime game. But don't let that dissuade you. In a world where GTA clones are rampant, this one shines through. Mafia 3 goes for all those open world revenge tale tropes. But what makes it special is its setting, which is late 1960s fake New Orleans, and also its take on racism in the time. There are both little and big examples of this. There are cutscenes where white women will move their purse from one side to the other to keep it away from Lincoln Clay, the main character, as he walks down the street. Other things include police responding to crimes that you commit slower in poor black communities rather than rich white communities. And it really fleshes out how someone might have had to deal with racism during the time. Even if these are minor examples, they really immerse you in the world and they make you care about the character, Lincoln Clay, even more. Also, to be fair, this game goes down some very generic crime revenge tale roads, but the game gives you such a good reason to want to murder some bad guys. And as bad as that sounds to me saying it, it makes for a really fun video game. Rock Band 4 was the winner of my most disappointing thing, period, in 2015. But over time, it has become something that I probably spend most of my time playing. With the addition of Rock Band Rivals, the game finally gives me a reason to go back to Rock Band. And that reason is to prove I'm better than everyone at Virtual Drums. Come at me. But really, this expansion is just the bow on top of something that Harmonix has been working to improve over the year. And it worked. It's gotten me into the loop of playing Rock Band again and again, and I can't seem to get away from it. Every week, I want to go back and check the new weekly challenges, see what songs I have to play this time, and if my crew has ranked up in the leaderboard since the last competition. And I absolutely adore the new single-player edition, Rocky Drama, which is just a really funny spoof on Behind the Music, which I personally just appreciate.
This is the story beneath the tunage.
How do you follow up a game that was my favorite JRPG in years?
This can't be.
I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I just play the games. Stop asking me. Bravely Second really just brings back all the things you loved about Bravely Default, adds more on top, and takes the things you think you know and flips it. In some ways, this game is a love letter to fans of the first game, because of what they reference, and also you get to see characters in a more human light rather than just being simple big bads or goody goodies. Just like the first game though, it's all about the job system. The addition of new jobs and new skills like spellcraft make for really interesting mixes of movesets and skills. While experimenting, you'll find some borderline broken stuff or some stuff that's just straight up weird. The new jobs and skills are a great complementary addition to an already huge list of classes. But Bravely Second, just like its predecessor, is doing some of the most interesting things in game stories since Nier. I really feel it's using the medium to its, I want to say, fullest potential, but who knows what's in the future. It's something I wish I could talk about, but would rather have you guys or other people experience for themselves.
An airship? It's not like any model I've seen before.
But Anthony, this is an old game, and remaster shouldn't be on Game of the Year lists. Well, you know what I gotta say to that? It's my list. I'll do what I feel like. I liked the original Odin Sphere. Not enough to finish it, mind you, but I liked what it had going for it. There was just too much jank to get around to warrant me trying to get through that game, so I moved on to other things. Now, years later, Vanillaware has modernized Odin Sphere with a new coat of paint and some shiny new bells and whistles. And I've come to regret not going through the original, to be honest. Each character now has their own unique skill set, which makes each character fun to play. Yes, even Mercedes. And there's a lot of quality of life improvements, like auto-sorting inventory, or the ability to make meals for experience inside the levels you're playing instead of going out to the world map. Vanillaware has learned a lot over the years from making other games, and they're showing it in this release. And for all you crazy people in the room, they even left the original game untouched gameplay-wise in a separate mode, so you can have your cake and eat it too. It's probably a rotten cake, but whatever, you do you.
Very well, leave it to me. Enjoy your meal.
You're gonna need him to stay and take a detailed personal account, even if it means giving his life. Okay, I'll tell him. Sorry, Hank. No dice.
Man. Well, I am flush with ropes now. Just found an old pack full of them.
If you really want to be minimalist and dismissive about it, Firewatch can be categorized into the walking simulator genre. It's not really a game that's going to test your skill in any way, but it is a game, at least to me. It perfectly illustrates how being immersed in a game can get you so much more invested in a world than, say, just watching a story unfold in a movie. Being stuck in Boulder, Colorado with only my watchtower, my walkie-talkie, and my wits gave me some sort of peace of mind. I felt like I was embodying Henry for some reason. The landscape of an empty national park combined with the art of Ollie Moss made me feel relaxed and calm, much like you do when you go on a hike in real life. This then made the story so much more impactful to me as I was trying to uncover various mysteries, from previous tenants' ongoings to who's stealing all this stuff from my boxes and the antics of shitty teenagers in the 80s. Firewatch is a game that I can recommend to anybody, which isn't really something I can say to any of the other games on this list, or to most games in general. That, combined with what I've previously mentioned, is why a walking simulator, if you want to call it that, has made it into the top 5. Firewatch is a great game, and everyone should play it.
You don't know a damn thing about me.
We know you're a peeping Tom! How long have you been standing over there?
Oh my god, is that what you are? Barf me out!
Ew! just get out of here.
I'm now coming to a point in Monster Hunter games where I think to myself, surely this has to be the one where I don't enjoy it anymore. They'll change something to alienate me and then I'll be free. I'll be free from this series. The time has not come yet because Monster Hunter Generations is still really good. This game beats out Rock Band 4 for game I've put the most hours into this last year. The grind of kill monsters to get stuff, to kill better monsters, to get better stuff never really ends. This is compounded if you have a group of friends, like me, who also want better and different stuff than you want. Monster Hunter Generation also brings in the addition of styles, which lets you play any weapon 4 different ways, and a new playable character in a Palico. Monster Hunter Generation gives you more ways to play than ever, and more reasons than ever to just grind out that one more monster before going to bed. Oh yeah, plus they're giving away free DLC since the game came out for a whole year. So I don't think I'll ever be free, to be honest. Someone should probably send help for me. Please, help me, please. Doom was something that over the year I kept hearing was amazing, mostly from other people who love Doom, but it still piqued my interest. And near the end of the year I decided to pick it up, and holy jeez were they right. The things that make Doom great go against the grain of many other first-person shooters. Things like reloading, fall damage, sprint toggles, a main character who's invested in other people. It takes all those things and goes, we don't need these. We just want to kill demons, man. The game is all about going fast and being as brutal as possible. It felt disturbingly satisfying every single time I got a glory kill on an enemy, and watch the fear of the Doom guy in Demon's eyes come to light. I absolutely adore just running and boosting around the map, shooting enemies rather than doing a typical stop and pop style of first-person shooter, which I come to expect from first-person shooters now. But we're missing just one important element, and that's the Doom guy, who has been built up as this legend of destruction by the demons. And even though the Doom guy never says a single word in the whole game, his actions in the first 30 minutes of the game are all you need to know to see what his motivations are. But just in case that's not clear, the Doom guy hates hell. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE. Try and say that 5 times fast. I could barely do it once. This was a game that I thought I wasn't even going to finish, if I'm honest. The whole idle thing never really appealed to me, and it's probably my least favorite thing about Japan. So the fact that this is my second favorite game of the whole year is also surprising to me. This game embodies both of what I love about JRPGs and 90s era anime. It has great dungeons, each with a unique puzzle element to them, and a simple yet in-depth battle system. But also a story that gets you invested in the characters' personal lives. There's another certain JRPG that came out this year that really wanted me to care about the main cast. But because I spent so little time learning about their personal quirks and what they like and dislike, when it came to the big reveal or loss, I just didn't give a shit. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions makes you care about these characters. They make you invested, and you want to see them succeed in either battling demons or getting a sweet new singing contract. On top of all this is the game's tone. The world-ending event is something on the level of the original Sailor Moon. The bad guys are always kept in the background, usually to develop character relationships and your relationship to the character as a player. It makes you feel right at home and invested in the studio you're working for. And on some level, you want all of your coworkers to succeed in their endeavors, even though they're just virtual pop stars.
bypass the module.
No, sir. Not unless we want to send a message to the entire IMC fleet.
Then the module's gonna have to be repaired manually.
Pilot, this situation could use your skills.
Where Doom is
you're up for
probably
another
the
trip to
better
hell,
single-player shooter, Titanfall 2 is the complete package. It's a great single-player campaign with an even better multiplayer. And to be frank, it's the multiplayer mode that has gotten me to play it even without friends, which is something I haven't done since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The thing that stands out to me in Titanfall 2's single-player campaign is the willingness of the developers to take a cool idea, let you roll with it for a while, and then be like, ah, that was cool, then drop it for something else just as cool. It doesn't let you rest and think, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the story. It keeps you on your toes, and just when you thought you've had enough, the game thinks you've had enough and takes it away. And I really admire that they don't just take one instance and one cool idea and try and stretch it out over a whole game. Also, your conversations with BT makes for some of the best deadpan humor I've heard all year. Then there's the multiplayer, which is strictly the best multiplayer in a shooter game this generation, hands down. And what makes it the best is the movement. There's no better feeling than outmaneuvering an opponent to get a kill or steal a Titan battery. It's that non-stop movement, being it on foot or in a Titan, that separates Titanfall 2 from the rest. It makes every match fun, even if you're getting stomped. And it's what makes Titanfall 2 fun on every level. You see what I did there? It's like level, it's a game, right? So whatever, screw you, that was hilarious.